So we have a problem here that tells us we have a wire with a square-shaped cross-section, and it is 3 meters in length, made of copper, which has a bond length of 2.57 times 10 to the negative 10th meters. And it says the sides of the wire are 2 millimeters wide, all of the sides, since we do have a square cross-section. So part A is asking us to calculate the number of chains in the wire. So what exactly does that mean? If we look at the base of the wire, the square base of the wire, if we look at it microscopically, we could be able to tell where the starts of all these chains begin, these chains that begin with single bonds of copper atoms. So like we have a bunch of little circles that would represent atoms of copper that are starting all of the chains that are going to just go straight down. Forgive my not so straight lines, but straight down this entire wire, the entire length of the wire. And what we want to know is how many of these chains are present in the wire. So what we're going to do is we're going to use an equation that simply tells us the number of chains in the wire, and this equation is that the number of chains is equal to the area of the wire divided by the area of the bonds. So the area of the wire just being the square cross-sectional area, and the area of the bonds being the little square area between all of these copper atoms caused by the bonds being made, the bond length between them probably being an average. So essentially, the area of the wire is just going to equal the sides of the wire squared, and the area of the bonds is just going to be the bond length, which is just BL squared. And we are given both of these values, 2 millimeters for the sides and the 2.57 times 10 to the negative 10th meters for the bond length. So all we have to do is plug these numbers in. The number of chains is equal to 2 millimeters squared divided by, we're going to put that in a parenthesis because this is a big number, 2.57 times 10 to the negative 10th squared. And we can just calculate this. And lest we forget, 2 millimeters has to be turned into a meter value because dividing millimeters by meters is not going to give us a straight answer. So 2 millimeters is just 2 times 10 to the negative 3 meters. So we just square this value, divide it by 2.57 times 10 to the negative 10th squared, and we get that the number of chains is equal to 6.0, this is a 0, 6 times 10 to the 13th chains. So this huge number of just chains of bonds going down this wire, completely filling up this square cross section. And the only thing you have to be careful of is if this wire is circular, you're going to have a circular cross section, so the area of the wire is going to change to be the area of a circle. But we only had to deal with a square cross section, And with that, we have the number of chains in our wire.